All right, so one of the things that you guys can do on your writing STAR test, which is in 7 days, 7 school days, is you can do a brain dump. And a brain dump is just going to a blank page of your test. So let's say, for example, this is your essay. Finding a blank page and just dumping all of your ideas on that page, okay? So we're going to start. Go ahead and take the white sheet of notebook paper that I gave you guys as you walked in today. And you're going to just copy these notes. And these are just kind of the most important things that you guys need to remember for the multiple choice part of your test, but also for when you're writing your own essay, not to make these mistakes, okay? So this is our writing brain dump, okay? The first thing that you need to write is the acronym FANBOYS. And we all know that FANBOYS are coordinating conjunctions, and these make a sentence function. So this is when we put words like for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so, and we put them in the middle of a sentence to join together two sentences. And so we need to remember our sentence patterns for this, for FANBOYS. There's two sentence patterns you guys need to remember. The first one is I see, comma, fanboy, I see. And the second pattern you guys need to remember is I see, fanboy, DC. I see, comma, fanboy, I see. We're only going to place a comma here, guys, if we have two independent clauses on either side. Okay, so for example, we have the sentence, I went home and fanboy, my fanboy is and, I ate dinner. You will see here that I have the independent clause, I went home, and another independent clause, I ate dinner. So I need to place a comma with my fanboy. And they're going to test you guys on this. They want to know that you know, do you put the comma there or do you not? So when do we not place the comma with a fanboy? We're not going to place the comma with a fanboy when whatever follows the fanboy is not a complete thought. Okay, so for example, I went home and I'm going to take out I. I'm going to take out my subject and I'm just going to say ate dinner. Now what you see here, I have an I see, but ate dinner is not a complete thought, guys. So because of that, I do not place the comma here. Those are the two sentence patterns you need to remember when looking at FANBOYS. The next acronym you guys have to remember, super important, a white bus. This is the acronym for subordinating conjunctions. And remember, subordinating conjunctions, these, when we start a sentence with these words, then our sentence is going to be a DC, comma, IC. I guarantee you guys, they love to test you guys on this stuff. So let's go through, and we're just going to list like one word for each letter, although there could be more, okay? So A, although. WH, while or whenever. I, if.
Destiny Rodriguez, please come to the office. Destiny, come to the office.
T, though. E, even though. B, because. U, unless. And S, since. And I want you guys just to remember, when we start a sentence with one of these words, what is our pattern going to be? Our pattern is going to be DC, comma, IC. What does that mean? For example, I start a sentence with the word because. Because I failed my math test. Is that a complete thought, guys? No, it's not. Okay, so you have to add a comma. So because I failed, we'll just say because I failed. That's not a complete thought, right? You have to place a comma after the dependent clause, and you have to add more information, okay? Now, if I take this pattern, DC, comma, IC, and I flip it, guys, what do I have? I have an IC, DC, okay? I'm going to remove the comma when I have an IC, DC, okay? So I can take this exact same sentence, right? Because I failed, I'm grounded, which probably happens if you guys fail something, right? I can take this sentence, which is a DC, comma, IC, and I can flip it, and now I have an IC, DC, and this is how I'm going to read it. I'm grounded because I failed. So you guys see our two sentence patterns for white bus words are DC, comma, IC, and IC, DC. Guys, they love to test you guys on these sentences, so be on the lookout for words like these, okay? All right, our next acronym, Hot Shot Cat. I know, we're crazy. Why do we have all these acronyms? I don't know. I think we love our acronyms. Hot Shot Cat. And I made that way too big because now you're going to run out of room on your paper. I shouldn't have written it that big. All right, Hot Shot Cat. What are Hot Shot Cat words? These are just transitions. This is a crazy acronym. So you guys can remember transitions to use in your essay and transitions that flow from, help your essay flow, okay? So you're also going to hear us call them conjunctive adverbs, all right? We have all these fancy names for things, right? Fanboys, these are coordinating conjunctions. White bus words, these are subordinating conjunctions. And hot shot cat, these are conjunctive adverbs. All right, so H can represent however. And anytime you use a transition word, you need to place a comma there. O can represent otherwise. And these are words you can use throughout your essay to help the reader transition from one idea to another, okay? Therefore, similarly, hence, on the other hand, this is a transitional phrase, so you want to place a comma after the whole phrase. Then, consequently, additionally, and thus. And these words, guys, can be used to transition in your essay. So, what are our sentence patterns? Well, I just told you guys, anytime we use one of these transition words, we need to place a comma after the word. So, remember, these are called conjunctive adverbs. So, remember this pattern. When you have a sentence that begins with a conjunctive adverb or a transition word, you're going to place a comma after it, and then you're going to write your sentence. So, for example, let's say I use the transition word similarly or therefore. Therefore, comma, I cannot go to your house, whatever it might be, okay? The second pattern you guys need to remember is when you have an independent clause, I think you guys, your writing will look really fancy if you guys throw this pattern in there. Put a semicolon, really impress them with that. We all know that that's just really like a period. Then, put your conjunctive adverb, your comma, and your IC. This will really spice up your writing.